Hello patrons, it's Beth here with another quick video responding to a question, this time asking me to recommend a book on sex magic. So this is something that I do have some experience of and knowledge of. There are a good deal of books available on the topic, and I think there are some really good books available on the subject. However, I am reluctant to recommend any. The reason I'm reluctant to recommend any is because I don't know the person who's asking the question. I don't know what their prior experience is. I don't know what purpose they wish to use the principles and practice of sex magic for. I don't know what their particular spiritual path or tradition is. There's a lot of missing information, is what I'm trying to say. So that's one reason. The second reason is that there's a lot of information available on how to cultivate and direct the energy that comes when the body is sexually aroused. So Tantra talks about this, ancient Tantra, not so much Neo-Tantra, but traditional classic ancient Tantra. Deep in the mists of some of the rituals, there is talk of and description of how to use that cultivated, collected sexual arousal energy. Similarly in Taoism, similarly in a lot of the esoteric traditions and paths, and somewhat in New Age practices. My experience is that it is entirely possible to collect and gather that arousal energy. It's also possible for that energy to be too substantial, to be too powerful, to be too much for the vessel that particular body can handle. I've seen people, in essence, short circuit because the vehicle, their body, their psyche, their personality has not been strong, powerful enough, honed enough, fine-tuned enough, experienced enough to be able to handle the power, the strength, the volume of the energy that's created through some sex magic practices. For me, this is very similar to the idea of teaching people sexual empowerment, which is great, without teaching them the responsibility for how to use that empowerment. So when we teach people how to feel powerful in their sexuality, which is a good thing, we also need to teach people how to wield that power with responsibility, not just in relation to their relationships with other people, but also primarily, I think, in terms of their relationship with themselves. So as I said, I've seen people short circuit, and I mean that both emotionally, psychologically, and also physically, when the channel that is their being, the body, the mind, the heart, has not been strong enough to contain the power that comes through it. So, because I've seen the power, because I've seen the potential and the damage that it can cause when the channel for that energy is not strong enough to hold it, I'm very reluctant to recommend a sex magic book, and therefore I'm not going to do that. What I would recommend is that if somebody is interested in exploring the idea of sex magic, of the cultivation and direction of sexual energy and sexual arousal energy, that they spend some time seeking out a reliable practitioner with whom to work. Somebody who has both an academic education and a professional training that's relevant in the field. Somebody who comes recommended by at least 2 other people who have directly worked with them. Somebody who has a strong and robust ethics procedure. Somebody who doesn't have sex with their clients. So I would recommend that if you're interested in exploring the idea of sex magic and you're not already connected in with a spiritual community that practices something similar to that, that you would seek out somebody to mentor you, somebody to teach you, to walk with you on that path of discovery and learning, so that you not only develop the skills with which to cultivate that energy, but also that you develop a strength, a robustness for the channel that you are, to be able to hold that energy and to wield it with responsibility. So I have a feeling that's not answering your question, because I'm not actually recommending a book. So what you were looking for, I haven't given you, but I've given you my opinion on the subject. And if you would like any further thoughts, if you would like any recommendations, if you would like any further discussion, please feel free to send an email to info@bethwallace.org. I hope this has been a useful video. See you next time.